Hello everyone and welcome to Fallout New Vegas. In this state, in this series, I'm going to be showing overall some really useful tips and advice in New Vegas, such as maximizing your experience, also showing some glitches that might not be known, and overall this is just a full walkthrough of New Vegas, a full playthrough. But every now and then I'm going to show little tidbits that some of you might not know, and I hope you'll join me in this journey. And of course, we'll be going through each and every single one of the DLCs. Now, without further ado, let's start. As a heads up, there is no mods installed right now, and I am using a mouse and keyboard until my Xbox One controller comes out of the shop.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. from where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
And there you have it. You're just a simple courier doing your mission, delivering what appeared to be a chip, and you got apparently hung up with a very bad deal. You ended up getting shot point blank by some guy in a really fancy suit. Just an extremely fancy suit, don't get me wrong. It's like the best, one of the coolest suits ever.
Awake.
And apparently he was with some con people. People who call themselves cons.
Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been
You wake up.
cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is.
You try to get your bearings.
How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
You notice that at this moment, you can make a new name for yourself. For this instance, this character, this legacy, okay, this is not going to be anything like a kill everything run. That will be in a few future Fallout series. It's not going to be anything like a pacifist one. This one is specifically just showing off just New Vegas in general about how great of a game it is. To me, this is one of my favorite games of all time. And for my role, I normally always go speech. I always try to maximize experience. I love doing that. I always love maximizing to the best of my extent. In this instance, this person will be, I always end up going with Motus, because it's emotion. And New Vegas, to my opinion, is all about emotion. All about the emotion. It's whether, if you're angry at a person, you can kill them spot on. There's not going to be any sort of method of, hey, they can just immune your damage because they're an essential character. Unlike in New Vegas, unlike in 3 or Fallout 4, there are essential tags where you can't kill certain people. In this game, there's only one instance of that, and it actually makes legitimate sense, which is why I love the game so much. So for this one through, this character will be known as Motus, as it's Latin for emotion.
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to GoodSprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
So when designing the character, it's actually more ideal in this game to go female. The reason why later on is because of the Black Widow perk. This perk is very useful. It actually makes when doing a pacifist one, majority of the time you want to go female because it saves you effort of putting a majority of your points into speech. Though speech is still very useful in the pacifist one, and actually will always be useful. For this instance, for this character, I'm going to go male just because I prefer being male. Caucasian. I get the best. I always go with the preset one of. There we go. We'll go that. Hairstyle wise, I normally like going with a shaved, just to look like, because in the apocalypse, having nice hair is very important. And facial hair, only like Renegade for it.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that matters.
So at the start of the game,
Okay.
the most important thing in maximizing your levels,
Let's see if we can get
specifically,
you on your feet.
want to get level 3 or 4 before you leave the tutorial area.
Good. Why don't
I'm
you
gonna
walk
let
down
Doc
to the
Mitchell
end of the
finish
road,
here.
over by that bigger
And I'm going to
station.
talk about, in
Take
this
it slow
playthrough,
now.
what I'm mainly going to
It
be
ain't a
going
race.
about. Okay? This character at the start of
Looking
playthrough,
good so
no matter
far.
what character you are building, unless you're
Go
role
ahead and
playing,
give the vigor tester a try.
you will want to normally end up
You'll
going
learn
the
right
same
quick if you
amount
get
of
back all your
stats every
faculties.
single time. Sorry, Doc Mitchell, I was talking over. You want to go the same amount of stats every single time. Okay. So, going over special stats. Strength. Strength is very useful even if you're not going melee or unarmed. This helps you when it comes to making sure you can hold a very large weapon. This is also useful in the skills melee, unarmed, and inventory rate, if I remember off the top of my head. It's literally those 3 skills, if memory serves. Perception is more. It's useful for explosive lockpick energy weapons and your compass range, which I'll go over when I go over the compass. But it doesn't state. It also helps you when it comes to perks that affect sniping. There are later perks. I believe better criticals off the top of my head, I believe is one of them, or the sniper perk, where perception affects it and makes you get better headshots, or a better chance in headshots and VATS. And I'll go over VATS later. Overall, at the beginning of the game, because we are maximizing our effectiveness, perception can go down to 3. Endurance. Endurance is a lot of people underestimate endurance. Endurance is actually a great skill in this game. Not only does it affect how much health you have, how much rad resistance you have, which isn't that important, and your survival skill, which a lot of people also underestimate in the game. Survival skill is actually a really nice skill to have, especially if you're going hardcore, which in this instance I am not going hardcore in this playthrough, so I can show the full effects of New Vegas before hardcore was introduced, before going into hardcore in another playthrough. Unarmed isn't that useful. Oh, I'm sorry. Strength is only melee damage, and endurance is unarmed. Regardless, endurance, they don't tell you this in the beginning of the game. Endurance, later on in the game, you can spend money to up one of your special stats, and you can do this a number of times based on how much endurance you have. For the maximum amount of stat benefits, you want endurance to 9. That way you can get each of your abilities, your perception, your intelligence, your agility, all of them, you can get them up by 1 with an endurance of 9. Also, wait, one last thing I want to touch on about endurance. Endurance is a very useful skill. I believe it gives you toughness. Toughness is one of the best perks you can get early on in the game, because of the fact that toughness lets you actually you become more of a tank because of how damage is distributed in Fallout New Vegas. Continuing on with charisma. In this game, charisma is the dump stat, the garbage stat, the stat no one ever uses, because speech and barter, both of these are great skills. You can level it up on your own, and the speech only affects these two, and companion nerve. A lot of time, and me personally, I'm not really into having companions around, because companions are like tanks. They can take everything. In a few instances, I will accept a companion because it's required to the game. Specifically in Old World Blues, not Old World Blues, Dead Money, I will be doing this in. Otherwise, charisma is a dumb stat. Get this stat, you get to 1. That way you can upgrade your other stats. Intelligence, I highly suggest for the start of the game, for maxing intelligence to 10. However, when you are going to respec later, put intelligence to 9, because of the fact that, again, what I said earlier with endurance, where you can level up each of your special skills by 1 point based on your endurance. You can get this to 10 later on, and you can use this special point somewhere else that could be more useful. So for right now, it will be 10, but when I respec later, it will be 9. Agility. Agility is useful, but not that great. Sneak and action point regeneration and guns are all great. However, I would rather leave it as it is and go to luck. Luck, I would rather have at least 7 in, because luck affects all skills, and critical hits are great in this game. Anytime, one thing I should mention, sneak attacks. Sneak attacks are guaranteed critical hits in this game, so anytime you sneak attack, you do a critical hit, and luck changes the damage on a critical hit. Other than that, this is what my this is what my special skill looks like. Lastly, we're gonna go over now the
Look
point
at
blank
that.
perks. Well,
Maybe them bullets done your brain
your
some
traits.
good.
When Doc
we know
Mitchell
your
pulls us
vitals
over
are
here.
good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a bighorn are dropping.
As a heads
What
up,
do
this
you
is
say you take a
maximizing
seat in
your
my
skill
couch
points.
and we go through a couple of questions.
Your
if your dog
XP
is so
points
barking.
in this game, in this in this first walkthrough.
All right. I'm gonna dog.
It doesn't really matter what we do. I'll be nice.
House.
Doesn't really matter. Obviously, I always go with human shield with Mother. Conflict. Since this character is not role playing and I'm showing off doing max damage, doing maximum experience and gaining for this issue until I leave
Well, that's
GoodSprings
all she
itself.
wrote. You don't have
Like once I get to outside the tutorial area, for the most part, this is gonna be straightforward. Once I reach outside, we will. If you want, in the comment section, for those who are watching, you guys can give suggestions on what playthrough you want me to go through, if you guys know the game. If not, tell me what you would be interested in. For the most part, I normally, in my build, in my playthrough, I'm trying to show everything I can. So even if it might look at a moment I might be going one side, it might be because of the fact the quest might end if I go the other side, and I want to maximize experience or show the most amount gained. Majority for the most part, I normally go entry weapons or guns. However, for the beginning of this playthrough, you want speech up. Repairs already 26, so that's good. Border. This is for skill checks later. And lastly, you want explosives up. This is for beginning
Before I
maximizing
turn you
experience.
loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Okay. Now trait-wise. The traits are actually very important when it comes to maximize experience early on. A lot of time, skilled is great. However, I highly don't recommend this at the start when you're going to maximize experience, because this gives you a minus 10%. Wild Wasteland is a very it's a fun trait, and there's actually instances where it affects what you get in the game. For example, later on near New Vegas, you can get a really good weapon if you don't have Wild Wasteland. If you do, you end up with a not so great weapon, so to say. I'll show that later on. Trigger discipline I normally always get, because of the fact that VATS is normally how you would shoot all your weapons in this game. A lot of the time, I normally enjoy using VATS with trigger discipline. Small frame is useful if you just want +1 agility, though limbs being crippled isn't great. Loose cannon only, I suggest doing this if you're going with a explosive build. Logan's loophole. Now this is a very interesting one. This stops you from lowering past level 30, but you don't become addicted to chems and they last twice as long. But after level 30, everything, experience, perks, skill points, all goodbye. I'm going to take this at the start of the game, and when I get past the tutorial area, I am getting rid of this. There's a reason for it, and I will go into that when I get into town. Kamikaze is an interesting one, +10 action points, but you have a reckless nature, -2 damage threshold. I personally don't like. Damage threshold is a very important attribute in this game, and I'll go over it later. Hot-blooded. This one, again, this is more for role-playing. Health drops below 50%, you gain 10% more damage, but -2 agility and perception. A lot of the time, because -2 agility, that's normally -4 in your gun stat. So it's kind of a hit or miss. This is more if you're going a melee build. Hoarder is, again, this is for role-playing purposes. You can be one of those guys who just takes everything on the ground. But if you know how to maximize and be efficient with your items and with your guns and all that, you can hoarder is not useful. Heavy-handed, I actually never recommend heavy-handed, even if you're going melee or unarmed, unless you're role playing. Melee and unarmed, critical damage is more important in my opinion than doing more normal damage, because a lot of the time crits are what make or break the game in this thing. Good nature is a great skill, especially early game. Just to show real quick, good nature. You get +5 barter, medicine, repair, science, and speech, but -5 energy weapons, explosive guns, melee weapons, and armed. The only skill that you really need early game when it comes to skill checks is explosives. Energy weapons, guns, melee weapons, and unarmed are not benefit for maximizing your experience early game. This at times, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to get rid of this or not when I do get out of the tutorial area, but for right now, Good Nature and Logan Loophole are the two I'm going with. Normally, I always take 4 eyes. This is probably the skill trait I'm going to take once I get out. I will switch Logan Loophole for 4 eyes, because 4 eyes is pretty much just a free +1 perception, because I normally always wear glasses in this game, plus there's some very good glasses later on that give you +1 luck and give you and with this benefit also give you +1 perception. Fair shot, the opposite of trigger discipline. This is specifically if you're going, again, role playing with more of a spray and pray style. This is more useful if you're going energy weapons with a flamer, because of the fact that you shoot your flamer a lot faster. Fair shot is very beneficial when it comes to going pyrotechnic. Early bird. This is for role playing purposes. This is specific, and also for survival mode purpose. This is specifically where you sleep a lot and you want to actually get benefits. This is more for you are specifically playing for certain times of the day. You are trying to min-max during 6 hours, and then from once you hit the 1 p.m. mark, you go to sleep instantly and wake back up at 6 a.m. That's the whole entire point of this. Claustrophobic. This is again for specifically for role-playing purposes. +1 special for outside isn't useful when you're -1 indoors. A lot of the time in this game, a lot of the loading areas is indoors, so you'll be affected by claustrophobic. Though there is instances where you're outside and claustrophobic might be very useful. Lastly, built to destroyed. This increases all your weapons' chance of critical hit, but the weapon decays faster. Now this is useful when you're going melee and unarmed, but in gun purposes, a lot of the time, especially later on in the game, you're going to be majority of the time going sniper build or a sneaky build, because it will do the most damage, and anytime you get a sneak attack, it's automatically a crit chance. So the chance to critically hit isn't as important. So that's all I gotta say, so I'm done here.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
I just need to wait till he gives me the Pip-Boy before I can access my items and all that. I can start looting his house, but first I want the Pip-Boy so I can dump all the extra courier package stuff. I don't like that. First things first, thanks for patching my stuff up. Thanks, Doc. Again, for this moment, as I said earlier, hardcore mode is a no right now. There will be a playthrough later on that will be using hardcore mode. Okay. So tab is, okay, I'm used to Xbox 360 controls, /1 controls. Okay, first things first, all this I'm going to get rid of. This stuff is the only thing that is normally given me, this would be the dynamite, because I went explosive skill. Paralyze, I'm going to be doing what they give me. This here is part of DLC, I'm going to get rid of it. The weapon repair kicks, the stim packs are there normally, but weapon repair kits are not. I will get rid of those. This I will get rid of. This is irrelevant in normal gameplay, but when you're doing hardcore mode, the Vault 13 canteen is stupidly OP because it gives you, so the fact that you never have to drink water. For this purpose, I'll keep it on me because I always like having the Vault 13 canteen. But when I'm doing hardcore mode in the next playthrough, I will not be using the Vault 13 canteen. And ammo-wise, all good. Oop. Okay. So starting things off, stat-wise, this is my skill set, 28 barter. The explosives is at 25. I need to get that to 25, but I'll show how you can get that later on. Lockpick needs to get to 25. Science is already there. Repair is already past 30, which is good. Speech, I need to get speech to 40. I know next time I level up, I will be putting my points into speech. Survival isn't needed. Sneak can be useful, but you can use barter or speech to get past that. Repair, medicine is useful also, early game for like skill checks. Other than that, that covers it. So the first thing when you're here, steal everything. This is all your stuff now. Who cares? He just helped you? Nah, he's taken. Except the hammer and that. Just take anything that has good value. Take any drugs. Any sort of drugs. And instantly use them. Why is that? Why would I want to use drugs? Well, it's because the purpose of why we took Logan's loophole. You will not become addicted to them. And it's for specifically because of the fact in this game, they give you challenges, the game gives you challenges you can do, and you can get bonus experience for fulfilling those challenges. Those challenges include having addictive chems. I believe it's 30 off the top of my head. You'll see you later on. Over here where you first spawn in, this is the bed you wake up at. Right here, the broken 9mm machine gun. If you have repair of 25 or greater, you can repair it and get experience for it. As you can see, I got 10 experience. I will take this. The chemistry set. In this, if you have science of 25 or greater, you can create some syntax, create some drugs. In this case, I'm creating drugs because I want to fulfill that challenge as fast as possible. This does not give you experience as a heads up. Hot plate. Now this isn't Fallout 4 where I want that. Blood pack, no. Medics I will take. Then this guy just literally helped me and I'm looting his house. Book-wise, I don't need his books. Camera, nope. Foot locker. Nothing normally in this room if I remember correctly off the top of my head. I will take food. Food is always useful. So tempted to take Wonder Glue, but no. Sugar bombs. Take sugar bombs for later. Remember, sugar bombs are a very useful item for a later quest. Boop. Outfits. Outfits are very useful early game. A lot of the time you want the effects of them. The agility can be very useful if you need to increase your snake, your guns, anything like that. Your movement speed. Cartoon cigarettes are actually good in weight to value. Same with pack of cigarettes. Weight to value ratio is how much an object weighs compared to how much it sells. I'm tempted to take that, but no. Nothing in here, there's no. Okay. If I remember correctly, there's beer in here. Wine. Pilot light. It's actually a good weight to value ratio, so I will take the pilot light. Pressure cooker. I will take. That's it in here, I believe. A Braxo cleaner is useful later on when using with the survival skill, but for right now I'm not taking that. East. Other than that, that's it. I miss anything else in this house before I leave? Okay. Ooh, the hat. Take that hat. Okay, nice. I think that's it in terms of that. Now, that hat will give 1 perception, right? Plus 1 perception with the hat. Aid-wise, I'm now going to use any addictive substances I have. So buff out. Notice that nothing really happened yet. Medics, Mentas, Psycho, Rebound. Day Tripper comes up. 5 out of 25. This is the achievement I talk about. This is very useful for gaining experience early on. So, any sort of addictive substance. And I exit out. Welcome to GoodSprings. This is just a DLC downloading. Old World Blues, Lonesome World, Happy Trails, and then for some reason Dead Money always ends up last. Dead Money is just weird. Oh, Gunmetal's and Dead Money. Normally it loads in right before I get to the GoodSprings store. Okay. I'm going to sell my items.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was...
Real quick. The 9mm submachine gun I'll get rid of. I'm pretty much going to get rid of all the items I have here. Because for the most part, I'm trying to get, actually give what the game would give me at the start of the game. These caps are not going to be that useful. The only thing I'm going to buy is any sort of addictive substances to be able to get the max benefit from Logan's loophole. Mentats. The Salesman Weekly gives you plus 10 barter when you read this. These are temporarily, but they're very useful before you're going to buy and sell things from people. As a heads up, whenever you want to maximize efficiency, Salesman Weekly, buying one and then reading it and then selling all your items is a very useful method. If you don't have max barter yet, I'm going to look in his miscellaneous tab and seeing if he has any weapon mods. The varmint rifle I will take. This is just to speed things up because I can easily get money later on and experience money later on. I'm automatically going to get a varmint rifle. I'm just doing that for right now because of the fact that it's right there. I will have enough money no matter what anyway later on to buy it before I leave the place. Ammo wise, I won't take any ammo for right now.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Okay. So, medics, mentats, and beer. That's 10. Ah, there's the Sierra Madre. Okay. So right now, Doc Mitchell told us to go into the saloon over here and speak with Sunny. Sunny. I don't know her last name off the top of my head. I believe it's Sunny Smiles. Before doing that, I'm going to show around the place first. Also, I'm going to be stealing a lot. As a heads up, I'm an evil person. Okay? Again, this is maximizing efficiency. So, first things first. Back here. This is normally my main base, or home of operations, when it comes to all of my items. Normally in the game, a lot of time items will despawn in that if you leave them in something for too long. This is one of the few instances where this is not the case. Right here. These crates right here. Specifically this one. I know off the top of my head. But I believe both of them. You can put anything in there and they will stay in there for the rest of the game. So I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff that like I got from DLC that I'm not using right now. The weaponry packets can go in there too. And that's all good. Okay. And that will stay like that forever. Let me check this one real quick. Carton of cigarettes, I can sell that later on. Central modules I'll take. Meeting people gives you plus 10 speech. It's similar to it with the barter, where you get plus 10 temporarily. The skill magazines are very useful in this game, specifically for maximizing and if you're not going a particular route, it can be very beneficial when doing a skill check. And it makes sense. You just read a magazine about it. You would have that knowledge until you forget about it. It's very simple. Anyway, you're going to see this a lot, by the way, because I'm doing a lot of addictive substances. The screen's going to go like that. So, continuing on, I am now going to explore the town, showing off very important aspects, and then when we finish with the rest of the town, we are going to stop, and then in the next video I'll continue off with the main quest and about maximizing your experience. So first, starting off in this house. In this house, some very key aspects to point out. Central modules are very useful for later on in the game. But that's only if you don't have enough science to do a certain check. If I'm going to have enough science, so I don't need to take these, but I'll bring it up again later on when it becomes relevant. Take the beer because I want to maximize it. Yeah, I'm stealing evil calm or whatever. Pilot light. I don't need any of that. There's none in here. Okay, so this house, the only thing of... Actually, no, there's more right here. I'll open this cabinet. If I remember correctly, yes, there are a bunch of pre-war money behind this. This is very useful for selling. Pre-war money has a 0 to 10 value ratio. It is very beneficial to get. This is the first instance of a Sunset Star bottle cap. The Star bottle cap is part of a quest, a chain of quests where you are supposed to get 30 of these or 50 of these. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'll look it up later and I'll get back when I find out. The Sunset Star bottle cap. The moment you take this, a chain of quests come down. Some of them are unregistered quests or unregistered events that happen. I'm going to take it. What's going to happen soon is the fact that I'm most likely going to meet Malcolm Holmes because has like 6 of them. He's going to talk to me what they do, and I'll go into the quest when he talks about it. I will take this. Agility and endurance is very useful early on. I will take the Magnum rounds. Nothing else in this cabinet. Okay. And nothing on the bed. Sometimes I like hiding things on the beds. But other than that, that's it for this area. There's food, which I will take. Cram. Maze. By the way, in survival mode, maze is extremely useful. It gives you food and drink back. As a heads up. Continuing onwards. We will now be going over to this house over here. As a heads up, once I complete all these houses and complete the next video, this is not maximizing experience for the full. For maximizing experience, I would kill every single person here because every person I kill, I get experience for it. And the same with the Brahmin over here, these little cow bulls type things. To maximize experience, after I do all the skill checks now, I would want to kill these guys for maximum experience. Buff out. BB gun. There's very few BB guns in the game. BB guns aren't that useful though. Take any outfits I get. Any alcohol? No alcohol in here. I don't need that much food. Thing in the oven, just a pilot light. Okay, opening back up. Check mailboxes for skill magazines. Like for example here, fixing things, that's for 10 repair, temporarily. Another mailbox. Coffee mugs, don't need anything in there. Okay, and this is GoodSprings home. If I remember correctly, this is the one with the safe in it. First things first, always let's have our characters always steal the pirate light. That way no one can ever cook. That's the second Sunset Star bottle cap that I just picked up right there. I will take the Sunset Sarsaparilla. Beer I will take. Shotgun. First shotgun in the game. Other than that, nothing else really useful in here. Nothing on the bed. No, it's not this one then. There's a house later on that has a safe in this area. I'll take that bomber cap. Oh no, I'm so evil. Okay. The schoolhouse. I will be going into that later. Right now, I'm just exploring the normal buildings. So I did this building, I did that building, I did the building over there. The only one left, I believe, is this one right here. In here. Or is this the one I was in? This is the one I was in. I'm a dummy. Sorry. It's this one here I did not go into. Take position. Take the purified water and maize. We'll steal every single pirate light in existence. Wonder glue. Wonder glue is very useful later on when it comes to making weapon repair kits, but for right now I'm not taking it. A walling pin. This is one of the first melee weapons you can get. Yeah, this is the house that has. Okay. Pretty up there's the safe. The safe is an average lock. I need 50 lockpick for this. We will get back to this safe in a little bit. But just remember that's there, 50 lockpick. In this briefcase, for some reason, there's only a toy car. I never got that one. In here, another sensor module, which is very useful later on. Keynote of interest. Affixing things is useful there too. Other than that, there's nothing else of interest in this house. But, right here, 50 lockpick. I will get back to that in a little bit. Let me get out. So that is the entire town as of this moment. I will go over the schoolhouse, the main quest, etc. In the next video. So, right now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Brian.codex, and we are this is New Vegas. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you back here tomorrow and every Friday and Saturday for Fallout New Vegas. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. If I miss anything, please let me know in the comment section below.